In 1980, one film blasted onto the screen with a tidal wave of gold lamé, cosmic laser battles, and a soundtrack that could shake the heavens. Flash Gordon wasn't just wild, it was an explosion of pure, unapologetic camp. But behind the big hair and even bigger sound, the production was a chaotic masterpiece of its own. The lead actor's voice was secretly dubbed. A future Jedi Master was turned away at the door, and the whole glorious mess became a cult classic so beloved it found a fan in the Queen of England herself. Today, we're taking a rocket cycle deep into the madness behind the movie. If you love discovering the untold stories of your favorite cult classics, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss our next trip into cinematic chaos. Now prepare for launch, because here are 10 things you didn't know about Flash Gordon. Number 10. The script that barely existed. The chaos you see on screen wasn't just acting, it was a direct reflection of what was happening behind the camera. The script was in a constant state of flux, with new pages and rewrites arriving on set just minutes before the cameras would roll. There was no time to rehearse or even understand the context of the scenes. Eventually, the actors simply gave up trying to keep track. They started improvising dialogue and faking their way through takes, with some admitting they had no idea what the movie was even about while they were making it. That frantic, unhinged energy wasn't a flaw. It became the film's chaotic soul. Number 9. The casting that almost was. Before Sam J. Jones donned the iconic red tank top, the role of Flash Gordon almost went to some very different actors. Kurt Russell was offered the part but turned it down, thinking the script was just too goofy. Arnold Schwarzenegger was considered, but producers passed on him because they felt his thick Austrian accent was too difficult to understand. In the end, producer Dino De Laurentiis made his choice after seeing Sam J. Jones as a contestant on the TV show The Dating Game, proving that sometimes the most legendary heroes are found in the most unlikely places. Number 8. The football fight was improvised chaos. One of the movie's most memorable scenes is when Flash turns his own execution into a chaotic game of American football against Ming's guards. The truth is, none of it was planned. There was no choreography or no stunt prep. The director simply told the cast to go with it. What followed was pure, unscripted mayhem. The actors threw fruit, tackled guards, and made up the entire sequence on the spot. Even Brian Blessed, in character as Prince Volton, started calling out football plays in the middle of the scene. It was a moment of pure creative anarchy that became camp legend. Number 7. The prestigious actor who hated his costume. Max von Sydow was a titan of cinema, known for his intensely serious roles in art house classics like The Seventh Seal and The Exorcist. So when he was cast as the cartoonishly evil Ming the Merciless, many were stunned, including himself. Von Sydow reportedly hated his heavy, ornate costume, found the campy tone bizarre, and worried that taking such a silly role might damage his prestigious career. But his commitment to the part was absolute. What he feared might be a career misstep became one of his most iconic and beloved performances, proving that even the most serious actors can have a blast playing evil. Number 6. Brian Blessed, the human sound effect. Brian Blessed's performance as the booming, winged Prince Volton is legendary, but his energy on set was even more over the top. During the filming of battle sequences, Blessed couldn't help but make his own sound effects. Every laser blast, punch, and explosion was accompanied by a loud pew-pew or kapow from the actor. The sound department repeatedly begged him to stop as it was making their job impossible, but he just couldn't contain his enthusiasm. His performance wasn't just acting, it was pure, unfiltered joy. Number 5. The director who was pushed aside. Director Mike Hodges was brought onto the project late and envisioned the film as a dry, satirical take on the classic comic strip. However, producer Dino De Laurentiis had a different vision, bigger, louder, and more bombastic. As production went on, Hodges found himself increasingly sidelined. Scenes were re-edited and restructured without his input, and by the time post-production began, he was no longer involved in the decision-making process. While his name remains on the film, the final version was a product of the producer's vision, leaving the director with a movie he didn't fully recognize as his own. Number 4. The Last-Minute Queen soundtrack. The film's iconic thunderous soundtrack almost didn't happen. The original choice for the music was Pink Floyd, but producer Dino De Laurentiis had never heard of them. Instead, someone handed him a record by the band Queen. He listened for about 10 seconds and famously declared, "Get me the Queens!" The band was given just a few weeks to write and record the entire soundtrack while they were in the middle of a world tour. They wrote songs in hotel rooms, recorded between concerts, and somehow delivered not just a score, but an anthem that would define the film forever. Number 3. Flash Gordon that inspired Star Wars. Long before he created a galaxy far, far away, George Lucas had one dream: to direct a Flash Gordon movie. He was a massive fan of the original 1930s Flash Gordon comic strips and desperately tried to acquire the rights in the early 1970s. When the rights holders shut him down, a disappointed Lucas decided that if he couldn't make Flash Gordon, he would create his own space opera. The result was Star Wars. In a strange twist of fate, the rejection of one dream led to the creation of the biggest sci-fi franchise in history. Number 2. The Star Who Disappeared. This is the film's biggest secret. Lead actor Sam J. Jones had a turbulent relationship with producer Dino De Laurentiis, with creative clashes and on-set tension boiling over. Towards the end of production, Jones abruptly left the film and refused to return for post-production voice work, known as ADR. With their star gone and the film unfinished, the studio had to make a drastic choice. They hired a voice actor to secretly dub over nearly all of Flash Gordon's dialogue. The voice you hear for most of the movie isn't Sam J. Jones at all. It's a seamless imitation that fooled audiences for decades. Number 1. Gordon is alive, and the Queen is a fan. Perhaps the most delightful and unbelievable fact about Flash Gordon comes from Brian Blessed himself. In a 2020 interview, the actor revealed a secret he had kept for years. He claimed that Queen Elizabeth II once told him that Flash Gordon was her absolute favorite film. According to Blessed, she would watch it with her grandchildren every year during the holidays and knew his famous line by heart. While there's no official confirmation, the thought of the Queen shouting, "Gordon's alive!" is the perfect surreal legacy for one cinema's wildest rides. Flash Gordon wasn't supposed to be a masterpiece. It was a chaotic, over-the-top, and often ridiculous gamble that defied all logic. And yet, that's exactly why we still love it. It taught a generation of filmmakers that it was okay to be bold, weird, and fearless. What's your favorite moment from this cosmic adventure? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from behind the screen. Thanks for watching.